Welcome to Restorative Yoga at Home. My name is Maitreya. Today I'm going to use 3 blankets and a hand towel to show you how to create a simple supported back bend sequence for deep breathing and relaxation. I'll start by using 1 blanket. I can place the others to the side. And I'm practicing on a mat, but if you like extra padding, I encourage you to practice on a carpet. I've folded my blanket into a rectangle. I have a smooth edge of the blanket and an open edge of the blanket. The open edge of the blanket will point towards the feet, so that when I lay back over the smooth edge of the blanket, I will support the base of my shoulder blade. So I want the bottom tips of the shoulder blade to come to the smooth edge of the blanket as the tops of my shoulders drop back. I'm sitting well in front of the blanket, so when I lay back, I can feel the entire shoulder blade on the blanket. This will help me as I slowly move back, and then I can feel that desired point, the base of the scapula, moving up and into the body. I'll keep my knees bent here, turn my toes in, and finally I'll adjust my head by dropping the chin and resting on the flat place below the occiput. Before I get too comfortable, I want to make sure to cover my eyes. You can support your arms in several ways here. I like to rest with my arms overhead. But if this is not comfortable for your shoulders, you can take your arms out at a T. So find what works best for you today. And this is it, 1 blanket back bend. We start with a gradual support, gently opening the front of the body as the tailbone and the shoulders settle into the floor. Even at this low height of 1 blanket, I can begin to feel my floating ribs spread. Notice your breath. Allow your belly to become soft and your limbs to become heavy. Continue watching the breath, and as the breath gradually becomes deeper and slower, we'll rest in this pose for several minutes, and you'll know it's time to come out when you hear the sound of the bell. If you notice your attention being pulled outward, or if you find yourself becoming distracted, you can always return to the breath and to any physical sensation that may arise as you begin to drop deeper into relaxation. Slowly inhale the breath. Notice the sensation of the ribs moving with each inhalation and each exhalation. Begin to prepare yourself to transition out of the pose. One at a time, bend your elbows and rest your hands on your torso. And then roll to your side of choice. Rest on your side for a couple of breaths before you sit upright. Press your palms into the floor and sit up on an inhalation. The next pose in this sequence is a 2-blanket backbend. I can leave my first blanket where it is and place my second blanket on top, aligning the smooth edges of the blankets. I'm using blankets that are roughly the same shape and size, but if you're using different props, make sure that you fold them so that they are the same shape. I prefer to use firmer blankets for these supported poses. I'll come into the pose the same way by sitting in front of my blankets, so as I lie back, I can feel the base of the scapula being moved up and into the body by the smooth edges of my blankets. My floating ribs are the apex of the pose as my tailbone and shoulders drape evenly off of the blankets and settle onto the floor. Adjust your head by tucking your chin, turn the toes inward, and remember to cover your eyes. As we add more height to these supported postures, you might begin to feel more opening in the front body. Completely release the area of the pelvis. Completely release the shoulder girdle. Breathe into the side ribs and feel the floating ribs spreading and opening. Soften the belly and allow the organs to settle into the back body along the spine. Watch your breath and watch the body as it slips into ease and rest. Observe the weight of the bones and the softness of the muscles. Soften the facial muscles and release the jaw. Know that there is no end to relaxation. You can simply allow your body to be, allow the body to receive rest. Allow yourself to receive the support from the props and the shape that the props are making. In this practice, all you have to do is surrender to the pose and allow yourself to rest. Slowly inhale the breath. Become aware of the floor. Become aware of the blanket supporting you. One at a time, bend your elbows and rest your hands on your torso. Remove the cover from your eyes and allow light to filter in. Gently roll onto your side and press yourself up on an inhalation. We'll move on to 3-blanket backbend. Rather than adding my 3rd blanket to the top of this pile, I'm going to make 3 blanket rolls. I want to open up my blanket so I have a larger rectangle. I'll fold in 1/3 of the blanket and then make a firm roll. I'm folding in the blanket so each roll has a firm core. I'll repeat this 2 more times. And I want the blankets to be firm so that when I lie over them, they won't compress too much. I'll place the 3 rolls together at the center of my mat and come into the pose just as I did for the previous 2 poses. Making sure to sit in front of my roll closest to the feet so that I can feel the shoulder blades moving into the body at that first roll that's closest to my head. Cover your eyes. Find a comfortable position for your arms and enjoy the increased back bend here. If this feels like too much height for you, you can always go back to the 2-blanket variation or the 1-blanket variation. Another option would be to add some height under the tailbone or under the shoulders and head. So if you find discomfort in one area, you can build up the floor to reduce the amplitude of the back bend. In this posture, you might feel a stretch, but the stretch should not be intense. We want to be able to stay in these postures for as long as is comfortable. So beginners might stay in this pose for 5 minutes, whereas a more practiced student might stay in this pose for as long as 20 minutes. The key is to find what's comfortable for you. Again, bring your attention to the area of the ribs. Allow the floating ribs to spread and the shoulders to drop back. Relax the arms, the hands, and soften the fingers. Allow your breath to be your guide as you journey deeper into yourself, exploring the essence of your true nature. Slowly inhale your breath. Begin to prepare yourself to transition out of the pose by removing the cover from your eyes. Roll to your side and rest on your side for several breaths. When you're ready to sit up, press your palms into the floor and press yourself up on an inhalation. Make your way into an upright, seated position. Bring your palms together at the center of your chest. May you be safe. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. Namaste.